What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to my channel, man. This is actually not a music video or anything like that. I wanted to do something a little different this time. I just been thinking a lot about certain things, and I just kind of wanna just talk to you guys. You know what I mean? I feel like I do the music stuff, and that's cool. But I want you guys to get to know me too, and know what I'm thinking and how I'm living and all that good stuff. You know what I mean? Really, what I want to do is I just want to encourage you guys to really be yourselves. You know what I'm saying? And I know that sounds really cliche because you hear it all the time. You hear people say, "Oh, be yourselves, be your natural you, and people will love you. Be your natural you, and you'll love yourself. Be who you were made to be, and who God created you to be." That's a lot harder than you think it is. And the reason I say that is because I recently just kind of figured out that I've never lived for myself. I realized that I've never necessarily had my own perspective. I've never actually thought about the way that I viewed certain things. I've always what I want to call borrowed perspectives. What I mean is because I have so many role models, so many people I look up to, I kind of take what they say as truth. You feel me? Like, so for instance, I look up to like an ET. I look up to like an ET, a Lecrae. You know, those are my role models. So for instance, I'm thinking I do the video stuff. I do like YouTube. I'm making beats. I'm about to start selling my stuff and making money. I heard ET say, and a lot of people say it all the time. They're like, "Oh, don't let money be the determinant factor. Don't let money be the reason that you do what you do. Don't let money be the thing that wakes you up in the morning and drives you because you're never gonna get anywhere." And I've always been on that. Money's never gonna be the thing that makes me act a certain way or makes me wake up in the morning. It's not like the number one reason that I'm gonna do what I do, because I really do want to inspire people. Like, I really do. But I'm thinking recently, I'm like, am I just saying that because that's what people want to hear or need to hear, or do I truly believe that? And the reason I say that is because me coming where I come from, coming from like below the poverty line, not having money, the number one goal right now for me is personal freedom. And so it's like I have goals and I have dreams, and it's like they're not to say they're based, strictly based strictly off of how much I make, but it's like I said, coming from where I come from, not having any money, for me to say, "Oh, money isn't the most important thing to me," it's like I don't know if I'm being honest. I don't know if I'm being honest with myself, and I'm saying that because that's my goal. My goal is financial freedom. Like, I have dreams. My biggest dream, like vacation wise, is to go to like Bora Bora. That's my dream destination, Bora Bora. And I don't want to be one of those people, no disrespect, that goes to Bora Bora, goes to Hawaii or to a Bahamas and just chill the whole time because they don't have money to do anything because you saved up for the trip. I'm talking about I want to go, be able to experience, be able to spend money like I want to. I want to go and have a good time. I don't just want to go and look at the waters, even though I'm pretty sure that they're beautiful, but I want to go and I want to be able to enjoy myself. And so I'm like, yeah, I want to inspire people. That's that's a given. The whole reason I got a positive channel is because I want people to look at my channel and say, "Man, this dude is positive." That's the whole reason I do it. I do it because I want people to have a positive outlet to be like, "Man, this dude is positive. I wanna be like him. I wanna I wanna be what I always say this. I wanna be what a Lecrae is to me to another young kid. You feel me? Like, I want to be somebody that somebody can look up to. Like, man, you don't have to be, what everybody else is being. You can be yourself, and you can live happily and be free. But I will say that money definitely is something to me and to people who come from where I come from. Because, like I said, again, growing up with no money, like, I'm talking about times where we didn't have, like, to be honest, we didn't have cable until I was like 15, 16. I didn't have a phone until I was like, I think I want to say like a sophomore in high school. I didn't have I didn't have certain things we don't have. Like, there's been times where like we can't really go to the grocery store and get what we want to get because like we don't necessarily have what we want to have, and we gotta write like a list of things to get and have like a budget for it and plan out. And I mean, that's cool, but it's like sometimes I want to be able to do what I want to do. You know what I mean? I want to be able. I mean, like, if me and my girlfriend or me and my wife decide to do something, if I decide to take her on a trip to Hawaii, I don't want to go and have to plan stuff out a certain way because I don't have enough. You know what I mean? Like, I've been rationing my whole life. Like, I've been, like penny pinching my whole life. Like, I don't want to do that anymore. And that's the thing. That's what I'm saying. So I'm like, when it comes to money, like, am I really saying money isn't what necessarily drives me? Am I saying that because I truly believe that? Or am I saying that because I know that that's what people need to hear and want to hear? So also, as far as borrowed perspectives go, another thing that I kind of realized I borrowed perspectives on was alcohol. You know what I mean? And the reason I say that is because Lecrae is my role model. And the reason I say that is because Lecrae is I see myself in Lecrae. You know what I mean? Lecrae, he grew up, fatherless. You know what I mean? He came from a place where they didn't really have money. He came from a place like me, and he talks about real things that I can relate to. Unlike half these dudes out here that just talk about, selling drugs, and like some of them are cool, but like I ain't never sold no drugs. Like I don't know about that. Most of that stuff I can't relate to, but Lecrae, I can relate to what he's talking about. I can dance to it. It sounds good. It's like I really resonate with somebody like a Lecrae. So he's my favorite rapper, not because he's a Christian, not because all this and that. It's because his music. I feel his music. One time he was in an interview and he was talking about, and they asked him, people, for some reason, I don't know why, like, people act like Christians are like, are dolls, like, are fake. They're like poking and they're like, do you curse? Do you drink? Do you smoke? And I'm like, like, why y'all gotta be like, we normal people. Like, I ain't holier than thou. Like, I'm not. But anyway, they're like, yo, like, do you drink? And he was like, oh yeah, there's nothing wrong with throwing back every now and again. And when he said that, that changed something for me because it made me think like, oh, well, drinking is okay. He said it's okay. And now mind you, this is my role model. This is the guy I've been listening to for years. I'm like, yeah, oh, okay, so that's cool then. But deep inside my mind, I've always told myself and always known that I'm not going to be a drinker. And the reason I say that is because I've seen a lot. I've seen a bottle turn people that I know into monsters. I'm talking about I've seen drinking and drugs do things to people that I wouldn't see ever. You know what I mean? Like, I've seen the effects of this thing. Like, I've seen people go from one way to another. I've seen people go from having money doing whatever to going broke. I've seen people, get drunk and cheat on their wife. I hear stories at work. People always say, like I went out yesterday with some of my friends and I got drunk and I ended up, like, I don't even know. I just woke up outside somewhere. And I'm like, that type stuff. And then, it's that. And then I just recently turned 21. And you know how that go. People are like, yo, Daryl, when you turn 21, I'm going to take you to the bar, bro. We gonna get lit. And I'm like, bro, like, based on what I've seen, based on my experiences, I'm like, I just don't, like, I can't do it. I can't, like, I know people that say, oh, it's not that serious every now and again to have a drink. And that's cool. If you do, that's fine. I promise you that's fine. I'm not going to judge you. But I'm like, based on my experiences, what I've seen, I've seen drugs and alcohol do things to people that's like, I can't even imagine. Like, I never forget, man, driving home from work one day, driving through my neighborhood, there was a guy, he was drunk, I could tell because he was wobbling. He clipped his foot on the sidewalk and fell face first into the concrete. Like that type stuff. I've seen that. I've seen a dude uptown. One time I was going to, I ain't gonna lie, I was going to Hooters. I got invited. I was going to Hooters. I got some good pizza. But anyway, we were going to Hooters and there was a guy in the middle of the street in front of my car. I think I was driving. He was in front of my car. He was drunk. He had a bottle in his hand. And he was basically standing in front of my car like this, going, hit me. And I'm like, bro, like what? Like, I'm like, why is this attractive to people? Like, why? Like, I understand, there's a limit. I understand, like, you don't want to drink as much. You don't want to drink too much. You want to make sure that you're safe with it. But I'm like, if this thing can cause this, I don't want to mess with it. I don't want to deal with that. You know what I mean? It's kind of like the cigarettes thing. For me, it's like this little stick. This little teeny stick has caused so many deaths, has caused so many people to get cancer and to leave their families and to do things that they didn't want to do. And I'm like, why is this attractive? That's just how I've always seen it. I've always been like, yo, like, I don't want to drink because I don't ever want to get caught in any kind of cycle, any kind of web. I don't ever want to be one of those people, no disrespect again, no shade, one of those people that get drunk and say, oh, I cheated on my wife, but I was drunk, so, like, I can't get with that. You know what I mean? And so that's my whole thing. And so when he said, like, oh, it's okay to drink every now and again, that kind of shifted my perspective to say, oh, well, I guess it is fine. When truthfully, I might just be saying that. First of all, peer pressure. Let me just say this. Peer pressure isn't just you being in a circle of people like, oh, do this because everybody else doing it. No, peer pressure is mental. Peer pressure is mental for real. Like, for my 21st birthday, that's all everybody was telling me. They was like, bro, you gotta have your first drink. You gotta do this. You gotta do that. And again, I'm like, nah, I ain't really like that. But in my mind, I'm like, I mean, why not? Everybody else doing it. I mean, ain't nobody else dying. Like, I ain't, like, I ain't just do it a little bit. And the thing is, on my 21st birthday, I did buy my first drink. I did. And honestly, the only reason I did it, I fell into that web I'm talking about. I fell into that, like, oh, everybody else doing that. Why not? Everybody else says, all right. So I fell into that, and I bought it, man. And honestly, it was probably one of the worst feelings I've ever had in my life. I'm not even lying. It's like, as soon as she put it down in front of my face, I was like, man, I've been telling myself for years, like, this ain't me. But I was like, man, I was just like, I was fighting with myself internally, like, is this right? Is this wrong? And I was so happy because I tasted it and it was nasty. I hated it. I was like, ew. I said, this is disgusting. But I was just like, man, I can't believe I fell in so easily like that. Like, I can't believe I just gave in like that. Peer pressure is so subtle sometimes. It's so, like, so psychological that it starts to mess with my mind. There's been times when I've considered, like, smoking weed, even though I done told myself, like, no, I'm not doing that. I've had experiences with that stuff that I can't go back to. And so, like, it's like I find myself thinking like that, and I'm like, why am I doing? And it's because everybody else is telling me, like, everybody else is like, yo, you just do it for the high. Yeah, you just do it to get drunk. You just do it for the experience. And I'm like, what experience is so amazing that I need to get drunk and like, I don't understand it. That was my thing. I was like, I just can't. And so again, coming from my role model, when he said that, again, no problems, no issues, but it's like that changed my whole thing. I was like, that might be right. And so that's what I mean when I say borrow perspectives. I'm like, I take other people's and I'm like, let me just dive into this and see what they talking about. And I'm like, maybe that make a lot of sense. Maybe that do make it. And I feel like I live that way a lot. I feel like I live that way 24/7 when it comes to anything. When it comes to, like, I work at Target right now. I'm leaving Target. I mean, I can explain that later if you want. I'm leaving Target. They just treat us like we just work for them personally or something. And so I'm leaving Target, but my biggest thing right now from leaving is I'm like, yo, if I leave, my department gonna be shorthanded, and they're gonna have to deal with this. So you know what if I just stay for a little bit? And I find myself thinking that, living based off of what other people are gonna think of me, or what other people have to do, and I'm like, this is my life. I can't keep doing that. I don't know why I'm doing that. You know what I mean? And so that's the same thing, like I said, when it came to going to college, man. I would love to be in, like, a dorm room right now. I would love to be doing that. That's what I want to do. I want to get the college experience, but I'm like, if I leave my family, I'm a part of the income here. So I'm like, I gotta be able to send money and stuff like that. I gotta be able to help and be here for my brother who's in high school still, type stuff. Like, that's what I'm saying. So those are all rational reasons, I believe, but it's like sometimes I want to learn to be a little more selfish, to be able to say, yo, let me get my life in order first, and then I start reaching out to people like that. You know what I'm saying? So that's just what I mean when I say that's why I'm really saying, like, guys, really learn to be your authentic selves, man. And I'm saying, like, don't borrow perspectives. Before you come up with a perspective on how you view a certain thing, on how you look at a certain thing, make sure that this is actually what you believe, man. Because I've been living like this all my life, and I just recently realized this, and I'm like, it's so crazy because I truly want to do I truly want to be a vegetarian. I truly want to be a vegetarian or a vegan, honestly. I really do. But my biggest thing is, the people I know that I love hamburgers and hot dogs and steaks and ribs. And so when it comes to me, I'm like, yo, let me do a vegetarian thing. People are always like, well, vegetarian? Like, you want to be a vegetarian? And deep in my mind, I'm like, I mean, I want to, but I mean, like, is that wrong? Like, I'm asking them, is that wrong? Like, I mean, I do eat meat. And so it's like, you know what, I ain't gonna do that. Like, I find myself doing that. And I'm like, I'm really living for other people. Like, my life is centered around what other people think of me, what other people care about, what I do and how I do things. And I'm like, I'm not being my true self. I'm not being authentic. I'm living based on what you want me to do and based on how you want me to think. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I can't. That, man, like I said, I can't even, I hope I'm getting this across correctly, because I don't even know. But that's just how I'm feeling lately. I'm like, I really want to learn how to live for myself. So when I say be your true self, this is not just something you can, I mean, it might be for some people, but for me, it's not something you can just say, like, oh, I'm gonna live for myself now. I'm making my own decisions. It's not something that you can just say. This is a process. This is literally a process. This is like I need to shift my entire mindset to, like, whenever somebody brings up something, I can think about it and I can give my true, honest opinion. Certain issues I even do that with, certain political issues, certain, you know what I mean, controversial issues, certain things like when it comes to, and I don't know how people view this, I don't know if I'm gonna get this off right, but when it comes to, you know, the police versus young African American males, when it came to, like, the whole shooting thing, even when it came to that, I was struggling trying to figure out who to really take sides with, and the only reason was because I'm like, yo, being a police officer is a dangerous job. Like, I can understand why you would be so nervous. I still don't understand why you wouldn't go taser first, or why you wouldn't, you know, aim for something other than, like, the head or the heart, maybe like a toe. You feel me? But I'm like, so I understand that perspective, but at the same time, I'm like, man, this black man wasn't doing nothing. He was minding his business. And then everybody telling you, oh, no, you need to side with the black man, because if you don't, you side with the white man. If you don't side with the white man, you side with the... And it's like, why are you giving me options? You know what I mean? It's like, why can't I be a free thinker? Why can't I think for myself? It's that type thing. So, again, when I say, man, just learn to be your true authentic selves, man, I just really want us to truly embrace who we are. Use your mind. Get out of your phone so much. Don't ask Google when you got a question. Don't ask Google, who do I think or who do you think will win the Super Bowl? No, think, do your own research, do your own thinking, and come up with an answer. I don't want to be borrowing perspectives. I don't want to be living my life for other people anymore. I want to live for my own life. Now, of course, my channel and everything I do is to inspire people. That's a given. I'm gonna do that. But I'm saying the way that I think. But I'm talking about the way that I think, the way that I view certain things, the way that maybe I see things like drinking and smoking and cursing. Like, I don't even curse. Honestly, last thing, and I'll probably be done. Honestly, I don't even curse unless I'm around somebody who I feel like will judge me if I don't. You know what I'm saying? And that sounds really stupid because I don't really curse at all or anything like that, but it'll slip out occasionally if I'm with somebody that I know that if I say a word like freaking or darn, they're going to be like freaking or darn. Like, and it's again because I'm so worried about what other people are going to think of me or what. Ah, man, it's so crazy, man. Like I said, peer pressure isn't just a thing that's like in a group of people, in a circle, like, bro, go steal from the store. It ain't just that. Peer pressure is mental. Peer pressure is something you need to work through. So, I'm done. That's my little rant or whatever. But, I hope you guys really got something from that. I hope I made some sense in that, man. And I just really want you guys to really consider that. Really take some time, cut your TVs, cut your phones off, and just think for yourself, man. Whether it be about school, if you're doing like me, you want to be a major YouTuber, but you're in school to be an accountant. It's like, am I going to school because I want to do it or because my mom wants me to be there? Type thing. You know what I'm saying? So really just focus on who you are and living for yourself, man. And just enjoy your life and stop doing stuff based on what other people are telling you to do, or stop thinking about stuff the way other people are telling you to think about it. Just do you, man. So, again, I hope you guys took something from that. Appreciate you guys for watching, man. Make sure that you guys follow me on all social media platforms. They will be linked in the description below. Make sure that you like this video, comment, and subscribe. I appreciate you guys for watching, man. And I'll see you again on Tuesday. I'm out, man.